In the heart of the Bay of Bengal, where the North Sentinel Island, a part of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, lies in splendid isolation. Here dwells a tribe shrouded in mystery, living a life untouched by modern civilization. The Sentinelese people. These enigmatic inhabitants have captured the attention of the world, not for their embrace of modernity, but for their fierce resistance to it. In a world increasingly interconnected by technology and globalization, the Sentinelese remain a living testimony to an era bygone. They are, in essence, a living Stone Age civilization, their lifestyle mirroring that of our ancestors from thousands of years ago. What do we know about them? Truth be told, not a great deal. The Sentinelese people have lived in isolation for countless generations, their society shielded from the outside world. Their language, culture, and social structure remain largely unknown, their secrets guarded by the dense forests and treacherous reefs that surround their island home. Attempts to make contact? There have been a few over the years, driven by a mix of curiosity and concern, yet each attempt has been met with a resounding no, often expressed through a shower of arrows. The Sentinelese have made it clear, in no uncertain terms, that they wish to be left alone. Their fierce independence and desire for solitude make them one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. This isn't a story of a civilization left behind, but rather a civilization that has chosen its own path, a path of self-sufficiency and isolation. The Sentinelese people are a testament to the resilience of human life, living in a manner almost unchanged for thousands of years. They remind us that there are still corners of our world where time stands still, where life continues as it has for millennia, untouched by the relentless march of progress. The first recorded contact with the Sentinelese was anything but peaceful. Let's rewind to the year 1867, when an Indian convict escaped from the penal colony on the Andaman Islands. He drifted on his makeshift raft, reaching North Sentinel Island, where he became the first outsider to encounter the Sentinelese. His experience, however, was far from welcoming. The man was reportedly killed, a stark testament to the Sentinelese's fierce resistance to external contact. Fast forward to the late 19th century, when the British colonialists, led by Maurice Vidal Portman, decided to explore the island. Portman, known for his controversial human zoo experiments, was intrigued by the isolated tribe. However, his expedition was met with a hail of arrows, the Sentinelese's signature welcome for intruders. Undeterred, Portman managed to capture a few tribe members, only to find them falling ill rapidly due to exposure to foreign diseases. This tragic incident further solidified the Sentinelese's hostility towards outsiders. The British, realizing the potential devastation they could inflict, made a pivotal decision. They chose to leave the Sentinelese alone, marking the beginning of a policy of non-interference that would continue for the next century. The island became a strictly off-limits zone, protecting the Sentinelese from the prying eyes of the outside world. However, the Sentinelese's violent reactions to intrusions were not just acts of aggression. They were, in essence, desperate attempts to safeguard their way of life from the onslaught of modern civilization. Their hostility was not born out of hatred, but rather a fierce desire to preserve their culture and way of life. In this day and age, when most of us are connected by the touch of a button, it's intriguing to think of a community that has consciously chosen isolation. The Sentinelese, by defending their island from external contact, have managed to preserve their way of life, largely unchanged for thousands of years. So what can we learn from the Sentinelese's violent first encounters with the outside world? Perhaps it's a reminder that not all cultures seek to be part of the global community. Some, like the Sentinelese, prefer to remain undisturbed, living in accordance with their own age-old traditions. The Sentinelese made it clear they wanted to be left alone. Despite the modern world encroaching on all sides, the Sentinelese have managed to maintain their isolation. Their seclusion, however, is not merely a result of their own obstinate refusal to engage with the outside world. It is also a testament to the efforts of the Indian government, which has established a 3-mile exclusion zone around the island, effectively turning it into a shielded fortress. This policy of non-interference was not born overnight. It has its roots in the lessons learned from the violent first contacts and subsequent attempts at establishing relations with the Sentinelese. Over time, it became clear that these encounters were not only futile but also perilous. both for the outsiders and the Sentinelese themselves, the latter, having lived in isolation for thousands of years, lack immunity to common diseases, making even the most innocuous contact potentially deadly. However, maintaining this isolation has proven to be a Herculean task. The 21st century has brought with it a slew of challenges that have tested the efficacy of this shielded existence. The Great Tsunami of 2004 serves as a grim reminder. As the monstrous waves battered the Indian Ocean, fears mounted for the safety of the Sentinelese. Miraculously, they survived, demonstrating an astonishing resilience and a deep understanding of their environment. A real-life incident that highlights the potential dangers of uncontacted civilizations. In 2006, two Indian fishermen who were illegally fishing in the exclusion zone got drunk and accidentally drifted too close to the island. The Sentinelese, perhaps perceiving this as a threat, unfortunately killed them. The bodies were later seen on the beach through a helicopter survey. Another incident that sent shockwaves across the world occurred in 2018. A young American missionary, John Allen Chow, decided to defy the exclusion zone and make contact with the tribe. His aim was to introduce them to Christianity. Despite the warnings and the obvious dangers, he managed to reach the island with the help of some fishermen. However, his attempts at establishing a rapport with the Sentinelese ended tragically. He was killed by the tribe, his body never recovered. These incidents serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of uncontacted civilizations. They underline the wisdom of the policy of non-interference and emphasize the importance of respecting the boundaries of such societies. We've touched on their Stone Age lifestyle, their existence uncontacted by the modern world, and the measures taken to preserve their way of life. Yet, we're still left wondering, what is the structure of their language, untouched by outside influence for centuries? How do they perceive the world with no concept of fire or the wheel? What are their cultural practices, their social norms? As long as this place remains forbidden, we are left to wonder. If you want to learn about more forbidden places, check out the next video.